For some time now, 55, for several years, 55 has been a major problem with the department and a project that we've been working on. In November, Governor Nye issued a directive to the department to enforce 55 to the letter of the law. And for some time, we've also been using specially marked cars on the highway. How is this program going, and what's its future?
Okay, the evaluation of the specially marked units, and you're referring to the unit that's assigned one unit in each district or troop headquarters. The evaluation of those have been great. They are very effective as an enforcement tool, and not necessarily just to be sneaking around, trying to catch somebody, but the fact that as people realize that there are specially marked units out there that they can't recognize from a considerable distance, then it puts them a little bit more on guard, and hopefully will slow them down voluntarily rather than just extra tickets being written. Along with that program, there's been money provided for some additional units, and which should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 specially marked units, which would be placed at given points around the state. Of course, this money coming through highway safety, and also there's legislation which we've introduced to give the commissioner a little more flexibility in utilizing this type of approach to enforcement of 55. And with the governor's support on the 55 program, and with the apparent trend in the legislature to be more conscious of the fact that we need the tools to work with to be effective in enforcing 55, and really with the public's realizing that maybe 55 is not all that bad a situation. We're noticing vehicles slowing down, and the evaluations recently have been great as far as the speed starting to drop. So that's a very viable program, and something that's going to be important to 55.
There are any other programs the department's working with the legislature on to increase our ability to effectively enforce 55?
Yes, we've got legislation introduced, which we tried a couple of years back on Fuzzbuster. But with the, as I say, with the renewed interest and with the support that we're getting on doing some things that would give us not only the tools but make us a more effective force at enforcing 55, we feel that this has a very good chance. And of course, Commissioner Reed and Governor Nye both felt that when you had an instrument that was clearly designed to do one thing, and that would be to violate the 55 or violate the speed limit, then there was really no use in having that type of situation which was legal in this state. So we're going to take a good run at getting the Fuzzbuster outlawed.
Okay, briefly, there's been a lot of work this last summer on the motor vehicle inspection program. Can you give us a rundown on what's taking place there?
Before we go to the motor vehicle inspection, there's one other area in 55 that we didn't cover, which I really think is one of the most important, and that's the repeal of the SP9 provision. This is something that went in 1974. It was clearly designed to ease the effectiveness or to almost eliminate the effectiveness in some ways of our enforcement efforts on 55. With that repeal, or with the possibility of having it repealed, we think that this is going to provide the deterrent to people who are, have a tendency to drive over the 55 mile per hour speed limit, but stay under the old speed limit. So we'll be able to place points on a person's driving record and have some effect on their driver's license. And there's a lot of people that travel out there that have clearly just kind of thumbed their nose at us in trying to enforce 55 because of this provision in statute.
I'm sure repeal of that law will be very effective, not only for the motoring public, it would be quite a boost for the troopers out on the highway.
Well, I think so, and Commissioner Reed definitely feels so.
Okay, to the motor vehicle inspection program, briefly, what's the outlook for that?
Well, the administration, and especially Commissioner, has done a lot of homework this session that really wasn't done last. And that's the fact of, drumming up support from different groups that are interested in safety, different consumer groups around the state. And I think that, the support and people looking at the program for exactly what it's worth. It's a safety-oriented program. You know, we've had a reduction since 1969 of where we lost 27 people. About 3% of our accidents, which resulted in fatalities, were directly relatable to some type of vehicle defect. Down to last year when we're down, you know, under 1%. So it's definitely, from a safety standpoint, it's a good program. The support that's needed seems to be there, but we've got to have some type of fee increase, which would allow a station owner or a dealer to be able to function and provide the type of inspection he needs and still make a profit. You know, you're asking private industry to do something, you know, which is safety related. If they can't make a profit at it, they can't stay in the business of doing it. And if they can't make a profit at it, we can't make them comply and give the type of inspections that people really deserve.
Okay. Larry, appreciate you being here. Captain Owen will be with us each month while the legislature is in session. If you have any questions you would like us to relay to him, please write or call the Public Information Office, and we'll be glad to do that for you. We'll be back next month.
Since that interview was recorded, DPS Report has received questions concerning longevity and cleaning allowance. Here's an update.
Reference inquiries we've had about the potential for increase in the percentage on longevity pay and an increase on cleaning and maintenance allowance. Well, the budget as it now exists has been structured around monies that are available to be spent by the state. Now, this wouldn't preclude, of course, when new monies are made available anytime during the session, that both of these areas would be looked at again for potential increases.
Retirements are really nothing new for the department, but this retirement was a little special. Lieutenant Otis Haltom, the last remaining patrolman from the second graduating class, officially retired after 41 years of service. A retirement dinner honoring Lieutenant Haltom was held in Enid.
It's a pleasure to be here tonight to welcome a gentleman into retirement. I use the term gentleman very heavily. I blew into Enid, Oklahoma in 1950, and the first time I ever saw Odie Haltom was on the square holding a vehicle check in 1950. I saw him later when I picked up an application to be a dispatcher with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol in 1952. And I was very fortunate to join the organization in 1953, thanks to Odie Haltom, Shelley McIntosh, and a few others that were in the Enid headquarters at that time. So I can go way back with Odie, but I'm much younger than he is. I need to stress that point, because Odie held up well, and you need to know what school Odie was out of. With all of the attributes that he had, the men of that school, you need to know how they issued the application. Of all the attributes an individual had, they went out into the countryside. That's where the troopers were, working in the fields and in the farms, and some in the cities, but I think most of them came off the prairies and plains. They'd drive around. Trooper would stop at the side of the road with his partner, they'd wave. The guy in the field waved back, drove on. But Odie was out of that group when they got to his part of town, or his section of the country. When they waved, he waved to plow. That's the school Odie came out of. I said among his other attributes, but he's a gentleman and a tremendous individual. I know you know him, as Commissioner Reed said, probably better than we do. But we want to congratulate him tonight on a night of retirement into a new career, and has fishing poles and other things involved, I think, Odie, but we want to wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dreaming, this one time it just about got me without words. That don't happen very often. When Glenn started looking for a place to have this retirement party, and I said, well, many friends Bob got, you probably can have it right there in the training center, headquarters. So we decided that maybe we better have it on out here. I can't figure out, really I sure haven't got this many friends. I think that the big part of them came because they were glad to see me get the hell out. I sure appreciated all the nice things you people said. I must either really be a better fellow than I thought I was, or else you're a hell of a lot bigger liar than I am. Well, so much for that. You know, they say, I got tired of people saying, well, the old man all the time, you know, I can detest that old man. The fact of the matter is, every time I go to a ball game and see them little gals marching down there and everything, it just makes me hate old age. They say that a woman's only as old as she looks, and a man's not old till he quit looking. Well, every once in a while I take a little peek. Well, get away from the foolishness. I really don't know how I could come by such recognition that I have received, not only tonight, but in the past over the album, football games, and the newspaper and the press, and so forth. I know I surely couldn't be worthy of that, but I do appreciate the things that you people did for me.
This month, we would like to show you in a newsreel setting some of the past events of the department.
This summer, the department's 13th Patrol Headquarters, Troop M, was opened in Altus. Along with the new headquarters, a new chief dispatcher was named. Sergeant Shirley Welch was promoted to the rank of second lieutenant and became the department's first female chief dispatcher. DPS Report asked Shirley about the response to her new position.
I've had no problem whatsoever down here. I have some fine people working here. There are 3 men and 3 women in the dispatch communications division. When I worked in the comm center, I was promoted to sergeant in the comm center. I'd been in there 2 years. And in that rank, I had a lot of younger men especially working for me. I never had any problem with any one of them, never. I've always had a good working relationship with them.
5 new courtesy patrolmen recently graduated from the training academy, bringing the department's total to 8. Cost for training and outfitting the patrolmen was provided for by the Turnpike Authority. All 5 were assigned to turnpikes throughout the state, where they will help in relieving troopers of non-law enforcement responsibilities and provide essential services. This past year, the Driver Examiner Division completed a project designed to bring their services closer to the public and relieve congestion at the department's main headquarters. 4 new satellite examining stations were opened in the Oklahoma City metropolitan area, complete with automated testing equipment.
That's DPS Report for January. Each month, DPS Report will bring you comments and newsworthy events as they happen.